The film starts as Bruce Wayne leads an expedition team to investigate a crashed ship in the snowy location of Saint Bay, where the ship's crew all died and disappeared mysteriously. They find a journal belonging to Professor Cobblepot, who once led an expedition on the snow-covered landscape, which led to his crew dying in the area, and he was left. Bruce Wayne then follows a strangely mutated creature, which he assumes is Professor Cobblepot, and follows him into a cave. There he meets Grendon, one of Professor Cobblepot's men who seems to have mutated, and he explains that the professor is also no more human, while he himself now serves a mysterious creature living within the ice crystals. Bruce tried to make Grendon go with him, but he is attacked by some strange flying creatures. Grendon also breaks the ice crystal and unleashes the giant beast with tentacles, which forces him to attack Bruce, but he fails after Bruce knocks him out with one punch. And before passing away, he tells Bruce that the creature is coming. They then blow up the place to prevent the creature from spreading its infection further in the area. The team finishes their work and also captures Grendon as the mutated Professor Cobblepot watches Wayne's expedition team leaving. Later, Bruce learns from Professor Cobblepot's journal about the existence of an ancient cult, which had long ties to Gotham City, and so they decide that after 20 years away, now it's time they go home. On their way to Gotham, the captured Grendon taunts the expedition team that they are returning for their doom, but one of them, named Sanjay, mocks him. In a flashback, Bruce Wayne recalls how his parents taught him that one day he will have to fill in the big shoes of the Wayne's legacy before they were killed. Meanwhile, upon reaching Gotham City, Sanjay is tasked with staying behind to look after Grendon, while the others will be heading into the city, which now seems lost, and Bruce heads to the Wayne Company building, where he meets Lucius, the guy he left in charge. Bruce later receives a dinner invite from Oliver Queen, but he senses that something isn't right. They later come upon a zombie-like man named Langstrom, who was mysteriously killed and brought to his house, and Bruce asks his assistants not to notify the police, since he will handle it. Moments later, a strange guy who calls himself Blood visits Bruce and says that he admires Bruce's work as Batman. He also tells him that Gotham City is too infected and burn in order to rise again, but Bruce has had enough and he tries to subdue the weird guy. However, the strange guy then transforms into a flaming beast called Etrigan, and he warns Bruce that he is not the enemy, and that he will soon meet his real enemy, and he leaves through the window. Later that night, Bruce Wayne and his two assistants attend the dinner with Oliver Queen, who has lots of stories to tell about his passion for hunting. Queen also brings in another of their old friends named Harvey Dent, who is vying for the mayor position. Bruce also learns from Harvey that Langstrom, the guy who he found in his house, was a biologist at the university who studies bats, and he actually claims to be one. Bruce later leaves, but he lets his two assistants stay the night with Oliver Queen to keep an eye on him. Later, the Dark Knight flies through the city and into Langstrom's house, where he knocks out some corrupt officers searching through his stuff. Batman then finds a cult symbol on the floor and a mysterious hidden book, which he picks up before leaving. Batman then reads Langstrom's book, in which he indicates that a great doom is being unleashed to the world by a cult named Ghoul. However, there is still hope, since the book they require, called the Testament of Ghoul, is hidden and must be kept from them at all costs. Batman recalls hearing such a thing like the Testament from Professor Cobblepot, and he flies away while a mysterious lady watches his movements. Batman then inquires about the book from University Professor Manfred, but he denies knowing it, but as he checks his vault to see whether it's still there, Batman monitors him from outside. Just then, a lady called Talia walks into the room with a weird lizard, which enters Manfred and steals the book from him, but everyone's hero, Batman, jumps through the window to stop her. Manfred soon transforms into a flaming beast and attacks Batman, while Talia leaves. While they are fighting, the flaming beast Etrigan then appears out of nowhere and asks Batman to leave the place and find the book, while he fights the other beast. Batman later finds Talia and demands the book, but he is not frightened by his costume, and she partially blinds him, while also revealing that they mean to bring honor to the city and destroy Batman. Another monster soon appears and attacks Batman while Talia walks away, but he manages to escape by jumping onto a train which hits the monster, leaving it behind. The monster then reports to Talia that Batman still lives, and she sends it to retrieve a key at the harbor. Batman later arrives at his cave, wounded, and asks Alfred to help him analyze some of the liquid from the monster. Meanwhile, Oliver Queen takes Batman's assistant to look for Sanjay at the ship where they left him with Grendon, and he finds him frozen on a chair, while Grendon is still chained and laughing maniacally. And just then, a monster breaks into the ship. Oliver Queen and Officer James Gordon then find the assistant lying on the floor alongside a frozen Sanjay, while Grendon has escaped. Kai Lee also enters the scene and starts to cry bitterly for the loss of her workmates, and Oliver Queen promises that whoever did that will pay for it. Later, Talia performs a ritual using the book and brings back their ancient dark priest named Ra's Ghul. Batman also learns that Ra's was an ancient dark priest who started their council, and his only desire was serving a creature named Lag Sotha. Batman then heads to where the weird cult is performing their ceremony and tries to stop Ra's, but is attacked by the monster, and he uses chlorine concentrate to burn it down. Talia attacks him next, and Ra's completes, and Batman falls into a large hole in the ground. In Gotham City, all manner of reptiles start to creep out of the toilets and sinks, while the election's around the corner. Batman soon emerges from the sewer and begins to have visions of bats, informing it that the only thing that can stop the disaster is the bat and himself. Later, Harvey Dent gets chosen as the next Gotham City mayor, and with him, the reptile infestation ends, with people thinking he could be the right one after all. Ra's and Talia then end Grendon to retrieve the key from him, and a girl comes out of it which is sent after Harvey Dent. The lady then meets Dent, the new mayor, and puts a small mark on his hand. Later, Oliver Queen reveals to Kai Lee that he plans to help the city find the great coming evil to repay the sins of his father, who did many crimes, including the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Elsewhere, Harvey Dent develops strange rashes on his hands, and he later begins to mutate. The lady later attacks Oliver Queen, and he blows it up with a grenade. Batman finds him injured and tells him he was a good man, despite what his father did, and Mr. Queen shuts his eyes. Batman later takes his Batmobile, leaving Kai Lee behind with Alfred, and he visits Barbara Gordon, who also likes bats, and learns that his father, Thomas Wayne, was part of those who had been granted riches through a ritual, and now Bruce has to stop the coming beast. Batman later meets the bats, and they direct him to find and stop the beast where it was unleashed. There, Batman meets Harvey Dent, who is slowly mutating, and he allows Batman into the slimy portal, where he battles the attacking zombies of his former friends. He then goes on to kill Talia, and Ra's transforms into the beast, which strangles him, but Batman also transforms into a larger bat, which moves swiftly, and he tears Ra's apart. Just then, a giant octopus-like creature starts to come out, and Batman unleashes Etrigan, and he asks Batman to leave while he does his damage. Etrigan soon causes a huge explosion which even takes Batman and Harvey Dent with it, and then sends streams of fire to Gotham's surface, while Kai Lee watches the destruction from afar. A few months later after the incident, the Bruce Wayne Memorial Foundation is rebuilt under a new head, Miss Kai Lee, and Gotham City is also growing better, and they also honor Oliver Queen and Harvey Dent. In her speech, Kai Lee promises to use her power to bring about the realization of Bruce Wayne's dream for a new Gotham City. She also claims that Bruce was too stubborn, and she knows that if the city that he loved ever needed him, not even death itself could keep him away. And the thrilling film comes to an end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.